Thank you for being here today, Changaram Venugopal, the author of The Incredible Essence of Elephants. I'm really excited to go through some questions that I have about your book. But before we begin, can you share a little bit about yourself?
Yes, please. Thank you. Appreciate. I grew up in Kerala state, India, and that's the same case with Dr. Cheeran also, where a lot of elephant population there. It is a rainforest area, and the elephants were intriguing it because of their size and their behavior. We all very much attracted to elephants. So we thought about writing something about elephants at that time.
Wow, it must be a scene to be growing up in a rainforest full of elephants. I can just imagine the view. What inspired you to write a book about elephants?
Their behavior and their size, it was a curiosity because as a small caretaker can control a big elephant like that, and it was very intriguing for us.
Can you tell us a little bit about the main characters in the book?
Yes, we in the book we compared about the African elephants and Indian elephants, and this is about the Indian or Asian elephants. And some of the elephants were unique in their behavior. For example, one elephant in the temple, when he was dying, he actually turned to the temple area and then saluted the deity, and then he passed away. And it was he was a blessed animal, we think.
Wow, that was a good thing to witness. Thank you for sharing that. What message or theme do you hope readers will take away from the incredible essence of elephants?
The main point in the book is that elephants are like human beings. Their behavior, social culture, everything is like they have even funeral, mourning. All those things are very similar to human. So that is the most important point.
Now, I'm intrigued about your research. How did you conduct research for this book? Did you have any firsthand experiences with elephants?
Yeah, most of the things are mentioned in the book are first-hand experience. When we were student, when we were growing up, we grew up in Kerala state, where a lot of population of elephants, and that is the personal experience. Then I also did some research on internet to find out what is happening around the world and things like that, which I coincided with this book, in this book.
How did the collaboration between the two authors, you and Jacob Cheeran, come about for the incredible essence of elephants?
Yeah, Dr. Cheeran devoted his whole professional career for elephants, and he was the important person in elephant care in Kerala state. I started my work on immobilization of animals. That was we were pharmacology students, so that was testing different drugs that would be useful for using in elephants. But most of the research material, we didn't use elephants because they are expensive and huge and difficult to manage at that point. So we were doing the small animal, dogs, cattle, different animals we used. And also the internet helped us to get more information, studies done in Africa and things like that.
What were some of the challenges you faced as co-authors while writing this book together?
The main point was Dr. Cheeran is in India, and I was during that time I'm in United States, So communication was a problem, but with the modern technology, the distance is not a big problem because of the internet. We can communicate very well, and you get the result right away. You can call and do things like that. So we overcome all those problems using internet and telephones.
A lot of good things came about because of the internet, huh?
Yes.
Did you have any differences in writing styles or approaches? If so, how did you reconcile them to create a cohesive narrative?
Yes, there were some difficulties because the similarity is that we both grew up in studying the British system. The education was in English, so there wasn't any difficulty on that part. But then when I moved to United States, the American style also came into the picture because of my publications, articles on my research on the professional side as a professor. So there were some difficulties with some words, and for example, behavior is spelled differently and things like that, but we overcome it. Is very minor point. So there wasn't any difficulty on the style of writing.
Now, did you find that having two authors brought different perspectives or insights to the story of elephants?
Uh, yes, slightly, because most of the contents were about his personal experience, Dr. Cheeran's experience. My experience was in the pharmacology side by immobilization of elephants. What are the changes you can think about it, and those type of things. But we overcome. He's also a pharmacologist. After veterinary medicine, we did graduate studies in pharmacology. So there wasn't any major difficulty. We had to discuss that frequently. That's it.
Were there any moments of creative synergy or inspiration that occurred during the writing process?
Yes, many of the things I noticed. He published some of the articles in local language over there, and he used to send it to me, and then I used to read. So we had a continuum in our curiosity and discussions, which actually helped in finalizing later, which was after many years, maybe 30, 35 years later, we decided to have the book.
How did you manage the editing and revision process with the two authors involved? Did you have any specific strategies to ensure a cohesive final product?
Yes, in the beginning, he told me these are the topics he wanted to continue, and then I started translating that to English, and then I immediately, the same day itself, I sent it to him by email, and then he will read it and send it back to me on the very next day. Things like that we continued, and when the topics, we were doing it on the basis of topics rather than a chapter, actually. Then we controlled all those things based on the topic level. Then the final decision came later, with involvement of the family members also. You have to add that in putting them together, which topic will go to which chapter and things like that.
It seems like that you guys came up with a good game plan on how to make this work. Um, did you find that the collaboration between two authors enhanced the overall quality of the incredible essence of elephants? And in what ways?
Of course, because if there is any question on either side, it will be immediately answered, and then we will correct it right away. So it was more of an organization rather than actually writing and translating that into English. Our organization was pretty good, uh, uh, arranging topics based.
Are there any underlying messages or lessons in the book that you hope young readers will pick up on?
Yes, and in the Western world, youngsters actually see elephants, I mean, even adults also, only in the zoo. Whereas we grew up in an area where elephants are walking around. Actually, you can see on the road elephants going under control, of course. The caretaker will take the lead, and the elephant will follow him to the temple and other festivities. They will take them to the lakes for the bath and things like that. These are all curious things. And we grew up, both of us grew up seeing this in Kerala state, India.
What do you think sets the incredible essence of elephants apart from the other children's books about animals?
It's incredible essence of elephants is actually not a kid's book at this point. It has so much of information about the biology and the scientific aspect of it. It is more for the adults at this point. I thought about making that into a children's book by illustration and things like that. That is in our, we have that in mind, but not at this point. So it is interesting. It is a mixture of scientific as well as the tale stories and interesting aspects of biology and things like that. So it will be interesting for both adults and children. But at this point, I would say it is more of an adult book.
Are there any plans for future books or projects related to elephants or other animals?
Yes, that's what continuing my point. We thought about doing that for kids' book, children's book. And that would have a lot of illustration and so many interesting points. For example, elephants can hear also through their foot. That is an important point, which many people don't know about it. So these are all interesting points for a child, actually. So it could make a good children's book.
I agree. I'm looking forward to your children's book because I have a daughter that might be very interested in hearing things about elephants. That's really intriguing.
Thank
Um,
you.
what do you hope readers will remember most about the incredible essence of elephants after finishing the book?
They will think that elephants are, oh yeah, elephants are like human beings. They have many characteristics of human life, social life, their behavior, their obeying of commands, love and affection, emotional situations, all like human beings. So that is really interesting. And I expect people will think, oh, they are good pets also.
That's very interesting. Now, what are the various platforms where readers can acquire a copy of the incredible essence of elephants?
Right now, it will be Bookmark Alliance because before that, it was published through Frison Book, Frison Press, which is a Canadian-based company, publisher. And they have different branches all over the world, and they make, based on the orders, they make the copies. But they actually, it was available even in Walmart, actually. I saw their ad also, and right now, last week actually I checked, but I didn't see that book because it is in the transition. Now the new republication will be coming through Bookmark Alliance.
And can you tell us where we can purchase the book?
Amazon has a Kindle version, which is not at all expensive. Then many bookstores, including Walmart, as I mentioned. it is available. It
All
will
right.
be available soon because this is the transition period, and Price and Bookstore probably stopped printing it at this point. And it will be available. The new version will be little cheaper for people. That is also in our mind.
I love it. Lastly, could you elaborate on your partnership with Bookmark Alliance and how this collaboration has shaped your experience in the realm of publishing?
Bookmark Alliance came from Joni Cliff actually contacted me, but he is not with Bookmark Alliance, I think, at this point. But later on, Adrian Bellerin actually helped me and contacted me, and we had some book fair places. The books were exhibited in book fair, Austin, Texas, Guadalajara in Mexico, and Florida. The news is going to the book fair places at this point. Even in Germany, they have a plan.
Well, thank you so much for conducting this interview with me. It was a pleasure meeting you and learning about your book.
Thank you. I appreciate your help. And then it is wonderful speaking with you. I really appreciate. I hope there will be a big news and the sales of the book soon.